Liberal Viewer presents.
So last month when Fox News reported on the June 21st Supreme Court decision in the case of FCC versus Fox Television, a case in which several broadcast TV networks got the Supreme Court to strike down fines the Federal Communications Commission imposed on them for broadcasting indecency, I was surprised to see, even in the short summary on the supposedly straight news program Happening Now, that supposedly straight news reporter Shannon Bream failed to mention that Fox Television was a party in the case, as you can see in this clip.
Another case the justices also ruled on today against the Federal Communications Commission, which had sanctioned and fined various networks because of either brief nudity or, well, you know, when a celebrity lets an expletive slip during an award show, that too. Well, today the court essentially held that the FCC didn't give the networks sufficient notice before dropping the hammer on them. The fines are no good.
And that was the full summary of the case from Fox News, failing to mention that the case of FCC versus Fox Television actually involved Fox Television, which was an important omission even in a short summary, especially given that the similarly short summary of the other Supreme Court case decided that day definitely let viewers know the name of the labor union that lost that case, though maybe worst of all news-wise was the way that report spent more time speculating on when the healthcare ruling might be announced than on covering the actual decisions of that day, which was too bad because, as I discussed in my 2008 video, Fox News Likes YouTube Censorship, the case of FCC versus Fox has some interesting facts involving the profanity described by Fox's lawyer Carter Phillips during oral arguments before the Court of Appeals in 2006 in this clip.
In 2002, the renowned actress and singer Cher responded to her critics in a television show by saying, "Fuck 'em." And in 2003, Nicole Richie, who is an actress, commented on her own television show, which is entitled The Simple Life, by saying that it was hardly all that simple because does anybody know how fucking hard it is to get cow shit out of a Prada purse?
Now, I wish this case had been about the First Amendment right to use profanity during TV broadcasts, but unfortunately the First Amendment issue wasn't addressed by the Supreme Court, which decided the case on due process grounds because for years the FCC had allowed occasional profanity, sometimes called fleeting expletives, to go unpunished, and so punishing that profanity without giving notice of the change in policy was unfair, an issue discussed back before the Court of Appeals in 2006 in this clip.
It's important to be very clear about what their regime was for 30 years. Speech that is indecent must involve more than the isolated use of an offensive word. That's the policy
and now
that's been out there.
they have admitted that it's a changed policy. For a while they said it was always somehow lurking there.
Well, they say that it's somehow always been lurking there, but I can assure you from the network's perspective, it has never been assumed that there was any potential risk. And indeed, if you look at the 1987 Pacific order, which specifically approves, against an indecency charge, the uses of the phrases "motherfucker," "eat shit," and "fuck the USA," and walks away from them and says those aren't indecent.
So the lawyer for Fox Television gave a lot more interesting details about the case back in 2006 than the reporter for Fox News gave viewers when Fox won the case last month in the Supreme Court, which might be because Fox News spends a lot of time editorializing in favor of censorship, despite the activities of the more profane Fox Television, which you can see not just in my 2008 video in which Bill O'Reilly conveniently got to broadcast the very sexually suggestive content he was criticizing from YouTube, but also maybe more embarrassingly when, less than 10 days before the Supreme Court ruling, Fox News' highest-rated program, The O'Reilly Factor, didn't provide anyone to argue in favor of free speech on the issue of local profanity laws, not even Fox News' supposedly libertarian anchor John Stossel, as you can see in this clip.
Marlborough, Massachusetts says we don't want cursing. If you curse out loud, it's $25. We'll write you a ticket. I like that.
$20 actually, but look, that's fine. If the town, you want to have a town square where people
You're okay
feel,
with that?
Yes.
Excellent. We're making progress.
Now, if you watch that whole segment, they do argue that letting a local government punish profanity is better somehow than having a federal law against profanity, but that really only emphasizes the way they want to let big corporations make a profit from doing the same things for which they want ordinary people to get punished, I think, but I want to know what you think. Is the Fox News editorial position on profanity demonstrated here hypocritical, given the Fox Television position on profanity argued all the way to the Supreme Court? And for a more open-ended question, why did Fox News report on the outcome of the FCC versus Fox Television case there without specifically noting the role of Fox Television in the case?
I YouTube, you decide.